just ask everybody to scan this QR code that you see on your screen now. And the first one who can tell us what they see, we'll wait for the answers. So do you?
Yeah, so if you have your, you could just turn your camera on your phone and then just switch to the QR option and...
Yeah, you just have with your camera off your phone, just scan this QR code. It will take 2 seconds. You'll have to click twice and tell us what you see. We give you 15 seconds more.
All right, we're getting some answers.
Oh.
5 more seconds, guys. Yeah.
That's good then.
All right, so I guess the first audience member who read it was Alex, and he guessed correctly.
Okay, perfect. We're gonna see it anyway afterwards. Just need to show the slide. Thank you. Just a few words about our company, Virtual Ranges. We started this company a few years ago. We're a startup specialized in augmented reality, virtual reality, and we provide for the few last years services, and we provide those services on the market in Luxembourg, and now we're expanding in Europe. And I wanted to show you. Yes, thank you. Just to tell you a few words about what's possible in virtual reality and augmented reality, we focus on 4 fields of activity. Training was the first one, then the experience, building more amazing experience with those technology, cultural aspect with museum, and also previewing building in VR. That's also a big field of activity that we're going to talk just afterwards. So basically, what's augmented virtual reality? Virtual reality, it's an headset you're going to put on your head, and once you put this headset on, you will be immersed in a 3D environment. So that's pretty much how it works. It's quite simple to use. Thanks. Yes. I wanted to show you those slides because I think that in magazine we see a lot of headsets and we don't know what they can do and what's the possibilities. I just shown you. So the 3 at the top are the one more quality experience, I would say, that will allow you to see a high rendering in virtual reality. But you need to be plugged to a computer. The 2 from the bottom don't need any computers. There's Oculus and the Pico one, just standalone, and so you can basically put on your head and move around without any wire. So it's kind of crazy experience, to be honest. And I don't say that there's one better than the others. It depends on the use case and what you want to do with them. So, but I wanted to show you some project that we released and to give you some example of what's possible and what's already done in virtual reality. Virtual Rangers has been selected by the Minister of Economy and Innovation for a program to fight against COVID, and as we have quite a good expertise in training solution. We've been working a lot with several hospitals here in Luxembourg, so when they ask us what we could do to help the sector facing the COVID situation, we decided to create a pandemic pandemic simulator project, which we can see in the preview in a few seconds, and I'll comment it. The COVID, and yes, it will appear in few seconds. So yeah, it's quite a grand premiere because it's the first time that we're gonna show this video. Yeah. So it will last like a little one minute, and we'll show you the potential that you can have with virtual reality. So yeah, you're gonna be immersed in a 3D environment world, but we didn't want to train people to train in like casual, normal, day-to-day basis. We wanted them to, you know, in virtual reality, you have also this aspect of having fun, you know. So, and we have the possibility to create any kind of environment. So we want it to be like more futuristic, but also very more fun aspect. but to train very serious aspect of cardio, obviously. So yeah, you can see like in a futuristic world.
And how many members in your company or in your team helped create this video? 'Cause it's very interesting.
That's actually a full team worked on this. So it's 10 person working full time to produce this new kind of training, and that was a great opportunity for us to have this project, because we could really show what we are able to do and show our real capacity. So it was yeah, we're gonna release soon. So that's the trailer. In 2 months, it's gonna be released. So yeah, very interesting for us.
Okay, great.
I'm just gonna go to the next slide. Oops. Nope. Yes, another aspect of virtual reality. That's what we also talked last time. It's about cultural aspect and and you know, VR is so powerful that it can make you believe that what you see is the truth and the reality. And it was also a great opportunity to make you travel through time. And we have this amazing project that we launched a few months ago with the Museum of Mine in Luxembourg, where you can be in a scene about 100 years ago, and you will be in the mine. You're gonna see the workers around you. They're gonna have this little dialect that they used to have in the mine.
Right.
Was quite funny. You're gonna see some explosion, how they worked, and you're gonna also see that the mine is closer, smaller than it is now, because they were all digging with their hands. So it's very interesting to do this bump in the past 100 years ago.
Sure, and I'd assume that you'd have to do, like, you guys would do a lot of research as well with this, because to get it to, one, look as correct as it is, and also have the correct information, you know, the dialect, as you mentioned, it must have taken, I don't know, to get it pinpoint perfect.
It took almost 1 year to collect all the information, and we have this way of thinking. We never start development without having all the information. So we work with historians on this project, and we had a lot of information, and they were very picky on some details, but this is what made the quality in the end. So that's it was an amazing project, but a lot of concept, and we're going to talk after about how important it is to work on the concept.
Oh, interesting.
That's also a fantastic project for us, because we had the opportunity with the CHL. They were doing already those fire evacuation training solution, but we wanted to work with them to put the user even into more pressure as possible. So we created like a fire evacuation simulator. So the nurse or the doctor is simply working in VR, and they do their day-to-day work. And at one point, a fire will launch next to them, and they have to take the correct decision in the smallest time possible. So, and now we're going to launch a video to show you the project. So yeah, you see it starts very slowly. And then you have to take the correct decision. And every time you do a mistake, you're going to lose time. And if you do too many mistakes, something bad will happen. And you will see.
So it's almost like a test that you give these employees.
Yeah. The idea was to know if you know the procedure correctly in high pressure mode. You know?
Right. Yeah.
So, and yeah, if you do too many mistakes, the hospitals start burning. So you have really real pressure. I would say it's the way of having pressure before real life. You know, it's the other ones.
Right. Yeah.
So the idea was to create a more realistic environment as possible. That's a fantastic project, and for those who follow us, it's a very special project, because we started 1 year and a half ago. It was very complex for me to talk about it. I even went on a pitch, and it was impossible for me to talk about this project because it's really complex. And the idea was to use the power of virtual reality, but not for training, not for entertaining, but for entertaining at such a level that it will reduce pain while you have severe treatment at the hospital. And that's a project that we launched again with CHL, and we have the support of the Fondation André Loche in Luxembourg, and they allow us to start and prototype the project and then develop it on several levels. And I just wanted to show you the idea of the project. It's that the kid will simply see a beautiful environment. We recreate in Luxembourg we say the Rode Leeuw, it's the red lion, it's the national emblem of the country. And the Rode Leeuw will come to you and ask you to join him to do some adventures. So we'll be focusing on him and doing some quests, some flying with him, walking with him. And at certain point, everything you see in the helmet will be synchronized with what the treatment you're gonna receive on your shoulder, on your arm, so the story will really adapt in terms of the treatment you will receive.
Sure.
And the idea was to reduce the pain as maximum as possible. And the first feedbacks are extremely positive. I'm not talking about the medical part, but you can already see that the results are pretty good. And
that's fascinating.
Yeah, it's and I told you it was really complex for me to talk about it, because I'm not in the medical sector, but I was going with them, and I want to thank also Elsa Docarmo, as the director of the pediatry in CHL, who helped me and helped me go and achieve this goal with all those kids. So it was I'm 34 years old, and I think it's the best project of my life.
Oh wow!
No, it's really crazy, and you will definitely hear more about it in the coming month, because we don't want to stick to Luxembourg, but we're going to expand it to other countries too. So.
Sure. So that means check out Virtual Rangers on their LinkedIn page, on Instagram, because they'll have very special content such as this, and then the other projects that you and your team are working on. Yeah. So sounds very nice.
So that was the VR part. So maybe is there?
Sure. Yeah. So as mentioned, we'll take some questions that you may have for VR. I'm checking now to see if everything.
Before moving to augmented reality.
Yeah. Before we move to augmented. All right. One question is, so how long were you working on this specific project, and did you need any licenses or anything like that to, be able to propose it?
So, as we say, all the content that you saw and you will see tonight, everything is produced here in Luxembourg, and that's all the 3D environment. And that's a project that we started almost 2 years ago. Say that 1 year and a half, but it really started 2 years ago. And then we started prototyping, and that's why it was important not to provide the software in the hospital and see if it works or not. I was going there, and we have this great exchange with the team, the CHL, to improve always and more. And it wasn't also the patient experience, but it was also the user experience, because the medical stuff, it has to be easy for them to use it, and it doesn't have to interfere with their daily work. So, this project is still in process. So, but we provided, like, I think that it's one of the biggest library for healthcare treatment at the moment, because there's more than 15 experiences that you can show. You can. I won't say any brands, but you can fly with Rudy. That's his name.
Sure.
You can go on the water, feed animals. You can ride horses. You can do several experience, which is much appreciated by kids. So.
Sure. Yeah. Oh, that's great. Yeah, and I actually have a question too, because it goes like, when you proposed this, was the hospital, did they have anything like already with VR, or were they thinking about it? Like, how much has this industry like embraced it so far, and like what's the potential you see, not just for here in Luxembourg, but yeah.
The hospital had already a few headsets to work with kids, and they wanted to go a bit more, because they were using content that's available on stores. You can ride with dolphin, etc. And the idea was to go a step further and synchronize what they do, the care gesture, with what they see, and that's something that wasn't available, and that's why we started to prototype and develop this project. So yeah, so they were already aware of this technology, but we helped them to implement it easier in the day-to-day process.
Oh, great. Okay. All right, I'll just check to see if we have any other questions, and if not, we will move on to augmented reality with Matt. Actually, we have an interesting comment from Akos. He mentioned that with the fire drill project that you showed, that this may be an improvement to have some in-game action, or like anything that would happen, like a new possibility while you're taking the test. Have you guys thought about that?
So we thought about this, and just to answer Akos, we wanted the interaction to be as easy as possible, because we were using those. It was the previous one, so that's the Oculus Quest. We were using the one before. It was the Oculus Go. So it's a standalone headset too, with a little remote which allows you to do point and click.
Okay.
So we adapted the gamification to those easy headsets. So at this time we didn't have Oculus Quest. So yeah, we have other projects where you need to have a lot of interaction, but the idea is, when you implement VR in a company that is not used to have VR, you have to go gently, So
Sure.
so don't put them in a full gaming experience that
right away.
That would be maybe too much in the beginning. Let's start slowly, and that's exactly what happened. The first module were simple click, point and click, and now we add interaction more and more, because we have obviously other projects. So
Okay,
that was the idea. But great comment.
Well, great. Yeah, thanks.